Okay students, let us start today Newton's third law of motion. In simple words, we can say that Newton's third law of motion is that every action has equal and opposite reaction. Now let us understand that in which case the reaction will appear. Okay, now we can have a comparison of all the three laws of Newton's. In the first law, in Newton's first law, we studied that if there is no force, then if the object is at rest, that means u initially 0, then it will continue to remain at rest. That means final velocity also 0. If the object is having some initial velocity non-zero, then that object will continue with the same velocity. Okay. Then in the second law we studied that as soon as the force is applied, then the body gets momentum. That means the body starts moving, or we can say that the body is accelerating. Okay, rate of change of momentum is present due to the force, or acceleration is present due to the force. Okay, now what will happen if the object, on this we apply the force, it was initially at rest, then it will start moving if it is not a rigid body, okay, like a floor. So what will happen? Now let us come to the third law. In the third law, suppose there is a wall which is rigid, which cannot move even on applying the force. So what happens here? Whatever force we apply on the wall, suppose we kick the wall, then because this wall cannot gain momentum, like in the second law it happened, that this body was free to move. As soon as the force was applied, the body started moving. But in that case, when the object is rigid or fixed like a wall or a floor, then when the force is applied, suppose we kick the wall, then this wall cannot move, it cannot gain momentum this way. That's why it returns back that force. Okay, so the force which we apply, that is action force, and the force which is returned by the wall, that is reaction force. So there is no wastage. It's just this way, that whatever force is applied of whatever amount, in the same amount it is returned back. So that's why what happens when we kick the wall, we only get the hurt. Okay, why do we get hurt? Because the force which we applied on the wall by kicking, that is action force, and the wall returns it back in form of the reaction force. So there are other such examples also of the Newton's third law of motion. So overall the idea about the three laws you must have understood. In the first law, or the first law applies in all that conditions when we have not applied any net external force. The second law applies when the net external force is applied and the body can move. So it will move, and rate of change of momentum of this body is equal to the force. And in third law applies in all that situations when the body cannot move on applying the force. So what happens? As soon as we apply the force, the body which cannot move, okay, it cannot utilize that force which is provided to it in moving. So what does it do? It returns it back. So when it returns it back, that is reaction force. So these are the three laws. Now we are coming to one very important concept, that in walking, when we walk, then Newton's third law helps us to walk. Okay, so you can note down this all. Okay, let us understand this concept. How the Newton's third law helps us to walk forward. Okay, explain. Let us start now. When a person is in the position of walking, then always one leg is straight, vertical, and one leg is in the slanted position. Okay, a little slanted position, as you can see in the diagram. So what happens when this person applies a force to the floor, okay, this way, so it will be little slanted. This is that action force. So if we draw it here at this position, the force which is applied by the slanted leg, that is in this direction, okay, backward towards the floor. Then what happens, the ground, if it is rigid, it will also apply equal reaction force to the slanted leg in the opposite direction. So just opposite to it, there is the reaction force, okay. So F is the action force applied by the slanted leg to the ground, and then this ground also applies equal and opposite reaction force to the slanted leg, that means to the body. Now you can see that this is at some angle. So what we can do, if we show this angle by theta, then we can make components of this R. So this is R cos theta and this component is R sin theta. The component, that component in which theta is formed, that is always cos component. So this is cos component. Now what other forces are present? So you already know that in all the situations the weight of the body is vertically downwards. So if this is the center I am showing of the body, so this is the weight mg, which is vertically downwards, okay. So now you can see that on this person how many forces are acting. So because from the ground it got the reaction, but reaction we have divided into two parts, so we can just now cross it because we have already made its parts. So now how many forces are on the person? R sin theta, R cos theta and mg are the three forces on this person. F is not the force on the person, F is the force on the ground, okay. So there are total three forces. So what happens here, you can see the R sin theta component, it balances the weight of the whole body, and then also R cos theta force is left. So R cos theta, you can see it is in the horizontal forward direction. That's why this person is able to move in the forward direction. So which component helps us to walk? That is actually R cos theta. It helps us to walk forward. And what about R sin theta? R sin theta balances the weight of the body. Note down all this concept. Okay. Now we can have one more such question, that why is it difficult to walk on sand? If suppose we have a sandy ground, then why it is difficult to walk on that? So it's very simple. The concept of walking, as we have studied, that if it is a solid ground, then that slanted leg tries to pushes it, but solid ground cannot move. That's why it gives equal and opposite reaction force to that force. But if the ground can move, okay, like in the sand, if from the leg the force applied is capable to move the sand is not the solid ground, so it will move, it will shift. So when it is shifting, that means it is now taking the help of second law of motion. Force is applied on sand and sand is moving, so no reaction we get. So we can say that here the reaction which is obtained, that is very less or very weak reaction. So if this is very weak reaction, then the components are also weak, R sin theta and R cos theta. So that's why we are not getting sufficient force to move forward. So the reason about the sand is that since the sand is not the rigid ground, so on applying the action force by the slanted leg, the sand gets pushed back. And if it gets pushed back, that means it is second law of motion because it is moving. So we cannot get the enough reaction from the sand. So we can say we are getting the weak reaction, and that's why the two components are also weak. That's why the force is not sufficient for us to move forward. You can note down this reason or answer. Since the sand is a loose ground, so it gets pushed away by action force of slanted leg, and that's why the person doesn't get enough reaction, so unable to walk forward, okay. Note down. Okay, now we have a question in which we'll use Newton's second law and third law. Let us understand the question. Two blocks of 2 kg and 5 kg, okay, both are given kg only. 2 kg and 5 kg are connected by light string. So let us draw the diagram according to the language of the question. 2 kg and 5 kg, they are connected by a light string. They are lying on horizontal frictionless table. So let us take a table, horizontal. So this is the table where the two objects are lying. Now a pull, you can read now. Now a pull of 50 Newton is applied from one side of the blocks. Okay, so now one pull means force is applied. So suppose I am saying that the force is applied 50 Newton. From which side it is applied, it is not given in the question. So we will be solving it from both the sides. Firstly, from 2 kg side we have applied the force 50 Newton. Now what is the things to be calculated? A, acceleration, reactions and tension. Okay, so let us start calculating. First of all, we need to show all the forces in horizontal and vertical direction. How it will happen? Just understand one by one. First of all, whenever a pull is applied, pull means force is applied. So since both the bodies are connected by the string, so both the bodies will come this side in the direction of the pull. So direction of motion is this side. So you can see now the MA force of motion is MA. First force is force of motion MA. So you can see this object's mass is 2, so 2A and direction is this side. For this the force of motion is 5A and direction is this side. Both the directions are that side only because the pull is applied that side. One thing is this. Second force which we can show here, that is tension, because a string is appearing. Tension we denote by T only. Okay, so tension towards each other you show. Okay, tension has been shown. Now what other force can be there? Let us see. So you can see, because always we say that the weight mg is vertically downwards. So third force which can be shown in this diagram is weight mg. So its weight is m is 2, g, its weight is 5, g. Okay, now when these two objects are lying on the table, so their weight is action force. Okay, this 2's weight is 2g, that is action force for the table. So table also applies the normal reaction to it. The reaction force is normal to the point in contact. So we have to show here one more force, that is reaction force. So reaction force on this is R1 because action force is different. That means here and here action forces are different. Here action force is 2g. ये ऑब्जेक्ट टेबल पे 2g एक्शन फोर्स लगा रहा है, तो रिएक्शन फोर्स होगा R1 ब्लॉक पे यानी ऑब्जेक्ट पे, और ये ऑब्जेक्ट टेबल पे लगा रहा है 5g एक्शन फोर्स, तो टेबल इस पे लगाएगा रिएक्शन फोर्स R2. So this is the complete picture. We have shown all the 4 forces. No other force is possible because just now the table is also written frictionless. So frictionless means now no force related to friction we are showing. All that forces we will be showing when the chapter of friction will start. There we will take the table which is not frictionless. So just now we have shown all the forces. Okay. Now you can see in which direction the body is moving. Is it moving in horizontal direction or is it moving in vertical direction? Like if we talk about this 2. This 2 is moving this side, that means horizontal, or 5 is also moving in this side, that means horizontal. Is the 2 object, this object, is it moving vertically? No. So if it is not moving vertically, that means the force Fy, vertical force, net force on this body in vertical direction, that is 0. Okay, and on this object is also not moving vertically. So on this object also the net force in vertical, that means y direction, is 0. So these are the 2 equations which we will be needing for calculation. Now let us solve first of all the equations for horizontal directions. You can see now I have drawn the free body diagrams for 2 kg and 5 kg block in the horizontal direction. That means all horizontal forces are only shown. Come to the original picture. 2 is the mass This has tension, this has 50 force. So tension and 50 force, and 2A force is the resultant. Okay, MA force is always the resultant. Then come to 5 kg, only tension is appearing and 5A is appearing in the horizontal direction. Okay, now if we show all the forces of the vertical direction, so for the vertical direction for 2 kg, R1 upward, 2G its weight downward. For 5 kg, R2 upward reaction and 5G weight downward. These are the forces which we have separated. Okay, so you can count the number of forces, like on 2 kg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 forces are there. So on 2 kg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forces are there. On 5 kg, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 forces are there. So how we have separated? Firstly for horizontal direction and then for vertical direction, so that we can make the equations. Let us start making the equations. First of all, here you can see 2A is the resultant of these two horizontal forces. ये दोनों अपोजिट में है एक 2 kg बॉडी पे, तो अपोजिट फोर्सेस होते हैं सब्ट्रैक्ट. सब्ट्रैक्शन होगा बड़े में से छोटे वाले का, तो बड़ा वाला 50 है क्योंकि ये इधर मूव कर रही है बॉडी. सो 50 माइनस t इज इक्वल टू 2A. सो इफ आई शो, ओके, सो 2A को लिखना है रिजल्टेंट. और रिजल्टेंट बना कैसे? एक बॉडी पे दो फोर्सेस हैं अपोजिट में, तो सब्ट्रैक्ट होंगे. सब्ट्रैक्शन होता है बड़े में से छोटे का. बड़ा डिसाइड होता है डायरेक्शन से. बॉडी इधर है जा रही है, इसका मतलब 50 बड़ा है t से, तो 50 माइनस t इक्वल टू 2A लिखा. नाउ कम टू दिस साइड. ऑन दिस साइड 5A इज द रिजल्टेंट ऑफ ऑल दैट फोर्सेस विच आर वर्किंग ऑन 5 kg. अब 5 kg पे तो एक ही फोर्स है t, यानी t ही रिजल्टेंट है, यानी t एंड 5A सेम है. t equal to 5A is the equation. Now equations have been prepared. We have two equations in which two unknowns are there, t and a. So we can solve these two equations to get our t and a answer. So this part will be completed. So I am substituting this 5A here in t place. T value 5A substituted in this equation. 5A shifted there, 7A. So A equal to 50 by 7 obtained. So first answer we have obtained acceleration. ये जो acceleration है जिससे bodies उधर जा रही हैं वो obtain हो गया. In the same manner tension आ जाएगा. अगर A की value put कर दी तो A की value put करते ही tension answer we will get 5A 50 by 7. So 250 by 7 is the answer of tension. Unit of tension is Newton. So if only acceleration and tension are asked in the question, you have to solve the question till here only. But in this question reactions were also asked. So I am moving to now vertical equations framing. Let us move to that. So on this 2 kg there are two forces in vertical direction, R1 and 2G. They are opposite. So there, if I try to solve the resultant, it will be subtraction of the two. So if I write the equation for resultant force, it will be R1 minus 2G. ये क्या हुआ? resultant force हुआ vertical direction में. ठीक है, vertical में दो forces लग रहे थे, उन दोनों को हमने subtract किया क्योंकि वो opposite direction में थे, subtract किया. अब क्या ये body vertical direction में move कर रही है? नहीं. That means इसका net force vertical direction में 0 है, which we have written like this. So इस R1 minus 2G को 0 करना है. Okay, R1 minus 2G equal to 0. You can compare it this side. यहाँ क्या था? 50 and t अपोजिट में थे तो सब्ट्रैक्ट किया था, और ये बॉडी मूव भी कर रही है, यानी रिजल्टेंट फोर्स था 2A, तो हमने रिजल्टेंट फोर्स को 2A लिखा था. यहाँ पर ये बॉडी वर्टिकल में मूव नहीं कर रही है, इसलिए R1 और 2G को सब्ट्रैक्ट करके उसको 0 करना है. ओके, सो दिस विल गिव यू द आंसर ऑफ R1 इक्वल टू 2G. R1 2G, G value substituted 9.8 or 10 also you can put. So final answer of reaction has come 19.6. Now this is the reaction first. Reaction on 2 kg by the table. Okay, reaction on this 2 kg body by the table. Now we have to obtain the second reaction also. So in the same manner we will solve it. So R2 equal to 5G. R2 equal to 5 into G 9.8 and the answer 49 Newton. So this way we have completed this question in which we have used the Newton's second law also and third law also. Where is second law? MA. Here the two bodies were moving in the horizontal direction. So moving means second law, F equal to MA. So we have applied net force equal to MA. Here also net force equal to MA in the horizontal direction. Okay, and in the, where is the third law? So as soon as the body is in touch with any surface, so it applies action force, so that surface applies reaction force. So that's why here reaction and 2G are same. You can directly also write down R1 equal to 2G and both the reactions you can get. So these type of questions we have to practice. Okay, note down.